Hello guys, this is Nikolai. Oh wait, sorry. This is Desktop Strategist. Welcome back. I apologize I haven't done videos in such a long time. Just life got busy and I forgot. I have to apologize. Originally, I was intending to basically go up the German Tiger line. Well, sort of ran into a speed bump, and I did go up to it, but the problem is that I didn't record any of it. So now I have researched, I haven't ever bought it, the E100, and all I've got left is the E75, which I might add is a wonderful tank. I would recommend that if any of you guys go up this line, you keep this tank. It's almost better than the E100. I actually think that if it had the same amount of hit points as the E100 had, I would prefer it as a tier 10. Of course, everybody has their own opinions. So some people prefer the way the E100 plays with the gun that has more damage and less penetration. I personally am just fine with the 128 and the superior, actually, lower glacis. Because if you look it up, you can actually find that the lower glacis on the E75 is a good 20 or 30 millimeters thicker. Not like straight armor, because the lower glacis on the E75 is only 130, whereas the lower glacis on the E100 is like 180 or something. The difference is just the angle that they come at. The E75's lower glacis is at an extreme angle, as you can see if you put it to the sideways view. It's at the same angle as the upper glacis. So that 138 becomes somewhere around a 250 or 260. I think it might be a bit less than that. I think it's closer to 240, 250. But yeah. Now, of course, the E100 has better upper glacis, but the problem is, whenever you're dealing with an upper glacis that's 380 millimeters thick, what does it matter if the other one is 440 millimeters thick? Sure, you'll bounce a tier 10 TD, but the thing is, if you angle this tank, you already do. And the thing about this tank is that it is considered the king of angling. So you really do want to angle a tank. So, without further ado, I am going to be playing a tank for you right now, and I'll probably also do another video after this one, just, because I owe you guys it. I will be playing the T-34-85, which is a tank that I've recently been playing through, and might I say, it's been very enjoyable. It doesn't have the best armor, 45, but the turret armor is actually, if a Hellcat hits you right here in this area, it'll actually most times simply bounce off. And then of course you've got the gun, which is a tier 7, which is, well, just massive for a tier 6 heavy, tier 6 medium. The German VK has a tier 7, however some of the tier 6s don't have a tier 7, for instance the M4s. But it is a wonderful gun, because as you can see, the average shell damage is between 135 and 230. And the penetration is between 108 and 180. The average, is just very nice. It's a very useful tank. It's more for mobility. I haven't gotten the top engine on it, as you can see, but I have been working on that. So really, it's a tank that relies on mobility. You don't want to sit out and get shot at. But, as you'll see here, hopefully I will be able to actually do this properly. I might have to split this into two parts. Well, I will show you how, basically, you just do this. And I will be, basically, playing through the T-34-85. Well, I will not necessarily be playing through it. I will be giving you some gameplay. So, we see here we got some pretty good matchmaking. This is one of the nice features about the T-34-85, is that while you will sometimes see them in Tier 8 matches, for the most part they get this, Tier 6 and Tier 7. And because their gun is a Tier 7 gun, it's capable of actually penetrating the Tier 7s, which makes it very effective. Also, aside from the fact that it does 230 damage at maximum. So, what we see here is, of course, since we're a medium, we're going to want to go up on the hill. Some guys prefer to go and play up in the town. Generally, I do too. My general rule is, and if you'll excuse me here for a moment, I'm just doing something to increase the frames. My general rule is just that I just play how I want, you know? And I don't judge anybody based on how they want to play their tank, unless the way they want to play their tank is, you know, like say if I was going to shoot this M4, of course, you know, you don't do that. But yeah, I generally like to think that mediums are just the most effective over here. You know, I think that if you can play them over there, more power to you. But I just like to do it over here. Mostly because you have more open spaces, you have cover, and you have terrain. Those are all advantages for the medium tanks, whereas, say, a heavy tank, open spaces are not good because that provides, you know, just a longer time for you to be shot at. And while you do have good armor, you don't have the mobility to really get out of the way like a medium tank can. Now you'll see I am going fairly... It's not slow so much as it's just not fast. This tank can go a lot faster than this, because the next engine that it gets has a substantial horsepower increase, if I remember correctly. We missed the shot. Yeah, that's the thing. The one thing I really don't care for in Russian guns is simply the fact that they're... sorry, got a little bit of lag there. Is simply the fact that their guns tend to be a little bit lacking in terms of shell velocity. And so, whenever you look at it, you kind of have to lead a little bit extra. Now, I may be just saying this because I was playing the German tanks, and as you know, they're known for their exceptional shell speed. In fact, the E50M is supersonic shells, literally past like Mach 2 or 3. It's really rather nice. I really just haven't gotten used to aiming with this tank yet, and it's something that will come in time. Now, a lot of people have said that they don't care much for the T-43, which is the tank that comes directly after the 3485. I mean, personally, I can see what they mean. You know, it doesn't have a better gun, and you also can't mount the gun from the beginning, but, I mean, I look at it, and I see another T-3485 with more hit points. Maybe a little bit taller. But that's about the only difference. You know, sure, but the thing is, I can see the T-3485 in a Tier 7. You know, as a Tier 7, just give it a few more hit points. And so, I think the T-43, you know, it's not exceptional such as the T-3485 is. Of course, I'm not so good at showcasing how exceptional this tank is, just because I could definitely do with some improvement on my skills. Oh dear. And you got a little bit of a predicament. We got a heavy tank that's somewhere back there. He's probably going to pop up here. But we do have another T-3485 and a Covenanter, or Crusader actually, sorry, that I will attempt to deal with. There we go. So with that threat taken care of, all we have is that T-3485 over there, and this guy just conveniently appeared. We're going to try and, as best we can, just get out of the way of what this is shooting, because we do have the problem of we just don't have armor. And so he got shots in there, and it really just, you know, it killed us. Of course, there is the fact that we didn't have too much fire support. As you could see, most of the team kind of died, but such is life. That happens, you know. But overall, you can see the T-34 is a very versatile tank. It's able to fulfill many roles. You can fulfill the role of a defender, you can fulfill the role of an assault tank, and you can also, sometimes, if you have a good enough crew, fulfill the role of a sniper. Now, the gun isn't the most accurate in the game, but I find that with Russian guns, it's all about patience. You really need to let them aim in. Once they aim in, most times you can actually hit a target at a far range. Because I actually snipe with tanks like the KV-2 and the 1S. The matter is just that I have to give them about 10 seconds to aim in, so I generally try to find my targets, you know, before I'm reloaded. So I have time to aim in, so that once I'm reloaded, I can fire almost right away. You know, after this, I'll probably be giving you another video on another tank, maybe Russian, maybe not. I might give you an E75 video. But for now, that's all the time I got. Thanks.